Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night Live. I just honored that you're here and excited. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Anita, and I want you to know it's never too late to change your life. Here we talk about food as medicine, and I strongly believe that. This week we're going to be talking about things that go beyond the scale. And I'm going to tell you in a few minutes, why I wanted to discuss that tonight. But I'm just going to do a couple of quick housekeeping things. I see. I'm waving at you guys in the chat. There's a few people have caught my eye there. So many of you, but we'll get to that later. Bonnie and Melissa are here. They are in the live chat. They will help with links and so on. And will help answer some questions where they can. Generally, what they are doing is they're collecting questions for me as well to answer later, because the last half of these live streams, we always do a Q&A. And so if you want to ask a question, put a Q or a question mark in front so that it's easily recognizable as a question. Because sometimes that chat is so fast, it just scrolls on quickly. And so they're easy to miss. So I apologize if we've ever missed a question. We have a giveaway tonight as well. Our giveaway is 2 carnivore bars. This is a perfect time to get carnivore bars for travel. These are great. I know a lot of you are doing summer travel. So I am sending some lucky person tonight 2 carnivore bars. They are a full meal replacement. So you eat one of these, you've just eaten a dinner. Sometimes I break them up and, we'll have a half of one with a light lunch or something like that. But for travel, I generally treat them as a full meal replacement. I heard the owner talking on a video one time. He was talking about the product, and he said that if they are sealed in the package, this will last 40 years. I won't be around to test that theory, I'm sure, but you never know. So they are a good thing for travel. I forgot to say the word. Eat meat. Eat meat. If you put eat meat in the comments, you will be entered to win. So go ahead and do that. I have 2 videos of the week. I couldn't pick one. I just couldn't decide because I really liked them both for different reasons. So one of them, and both of them actually tie into things for this week and part of, the topic for this week, which is beyond the scale. One of them is a Dave Mack video. Many of you know who he is. He interviews quite a few people, and he happened to interview a friend of mine named Jody. She is a Canadian who lives in Germany. And I just, I enjoy talking to her a lot. And we've actually never met, but I just love her. And her story just blew me away. Just the healing, some of the things that she has healed that you shouldn't be able to heal. And she healed them through carnivore. And through a proper human diet of, no processed foods, no seed oils. I mean, this is why we're here, right? We're, to talk about these things and find out how each other is doing on this. So that's one of the videos. The other video is from Nisha Berry. I know you guys, hopefully all know who Nisha Berry is. Dr. Ken Berry and her are like the power couple of keto carnivore, and she did a video this week on elimination diets and how she healed her Hashimoto's. I just thought it was excellent. It was so inspiring, so on point, and so I couldn't pick between those 2. They're both linked down below. Okay, so this week we are talking about Beyond the Scale. NSVs. So an NSV is a non-scale victory. Now, many of you know my history. I talk about this a lot. I have lost 145 pounds, which to me, it is, I mean, that is a life-changing thing. I know many of you who are watching have also had weight losses, anywhere from 10 pounds to 200 pounds. I mean, there's people in this community who have gone even beyond that. I think of Bill in Alaska. I think of Limitless Lindy. I think of, there's so many people that I think of, with these large weight losses, Kelly Hogan, many, many more. Those are all fantastic. But, when you look beyond the scale, it's not about the weight that you've lost. It's about the lifestyle that you've gained. To me, the things that you have healed have, like, it's great that I lost weight, but I just want to go over a few things on my piece of paper here. I suffered with plantar fasciitis before. So I would get out of bed in the morning and I could barely stand up. It was so painful. Any of you who have plantar fasciitis, you know what I'm talking about. These sharp pains are the worst when you first wake up in the morning and stand on your feet. Very painful. Completely gone. I haven't had a symptom. I don't know. I don't even know when the last time I felt that was. It's been a few years. Symptoms of arthritis. Many of you know that I'm waiting for a knee replacement. I have bone-on-bone arthritis in my left knee. I had a chance to talk to Dr. Baker when I was in Tennessee recently. Poor Dr. Baker. He got the seat next to me on the bus. We were on the bus heading out to the regenerative farm tour. And so we had a chance to chit chat about a few things. So I want to get that off the screen now. So we had a chance to talk, and of course I asked him, because he's a knee surgeon and he knows all about knees and that sort of thing. We talked about the whole subject, and one of the things he said, and I've heard him also say this in interviews, is that pain is one of the indicators of surgery. Like knee surgery is given because of pain mostly. So while I do have this problem in my knee, I don't, like, the pain is almost non-existent some days. The only time I feel it is if I've walked more than 10,000 steps in the day. So let me just repeat that, just for some effect. If I walk more than 10,000 steps a day, I start to feel pain. If I've, just been doing too much, I feel pain. But I can walk 10,000 steps. There's days I walk 15,000 steps. I can climb up and down a ladder. I can do all the activities of daily living, even though I have a knee with bone-on-bone arthritis. To me, that's a little bit mind-blowing. I'm on that knee surgery list, but I'm definitely really torn now. I'm definitely not sure. And luckily I have time to think because I'm in Canada and, the lists are long. The lists are very long, the waiting lists. So, probably in a year or two, I'll have to make that final decision. But I do a lot with this knee that supposedly needs to be replaced. So, you can see where I'm conflicted now after talking to Dr. Baker and just, looking into this and seeing how I feel. But, back to some of the things that have been healing for me. I used to have really high blood pressure, and that started in my the last couple of months when I was pregnant with my youngest son, he's now like 25 or 26, something like that. I my doctor said that I had signs of preeclampsia, like I had the swelling legs. I started having some issues. So I was ordered to bed rest in the last month of my pregnancy. And I had some pretty, you know, the blood pressure stayed high for quite some time along the way. And so I don't have that anymore. Like that's gone. I was with a client one time in a drugstore. This was probably 20 years ago, and I had a spontaneous nosebleed. And the fact that they were in a drugstore, they were concerned. I was concerned. That hadn't happened to me before, and it was kind of embarrassing, and it, all that. But they had a blood pressure thing, and the pharmacist was like, immediately, he's like, I want to see your blood pressure, and it was really high. It was really high. I don't remember right now, but they were worried about me. And I just brushed it off, and oh no, it's we're in it was very hot. It was the middle of the summer. We're in a high elevation. I kind of did all these things to brush it off. But the honest truth is I was over 300 pounds, and yeah, I had issues. So these issues have basically left. I'm kind of living a normal life. I'm 66 years old. I'm on 0 medications. So these are the types of stories. Now I have 4 pages of stories that came from my members, the people who follow me on, that are in my membership on YouTube and Facebook and whatnot. I'm going to share some of them with you. All of these people have lost a lot of weight, but they don't even mention that I just know them. I know that they have. They do not mention that in this information that they gave me. They talk about the things that have healed. And I find it really amazing. I find some of them really amazing. So I'm going to get a couple of these up here. I don't know how many we're going to get through because I also want to answer questions from you guys, but let's have a look here. So this person, I haven't used their names or anything. This is all anonymous. I've been keto and carnivore pretty consistently over 3 years. Finally, my blood glucose during the day is averaging 63, ketones 0.7 to 1. Dr. Barry recommend I cut out all carbs. I had a really sick liver with morning blood sugars in the upper 150s. Now they're in the 120s and drop to the mid to low 60s, and they stay there with minimal changes throughout the day. If you're struggling, don't give up. So I just, that's one example of somebody who just shared in the group that, this is a problem that they've solved. Let me bring up another one here. Okay, I know that's probably hard to read for you. And I'm going to paraphrase because most of them were like a page, half a page long. So this person here, I know she's lost 200 pounds in that range. She was depressed with a low self-esteem. She didn't think she was worthy. Her emotions were out of control. She calls herself a nasty person here. She is far from nasty. She's the sweetest thing ever. Basically, she's out of control. So now she's no longer depressed. She's got this new opportunity to live a full life. Her self-esteem, her self-worth have grown. She is doing an animal-based lifestyle, and she's grateful to everybody, like to finding carnivore. She happens to be a very devoted Christian, so she is practicing that and reaching out to other people with that as well, and she's just full of inspiration for others. She says she's just getting started, so it also can change people's personalities. Being on a proper human diet. I mean, I am, where did I put that book? I'm almost finished Dr. Georgia Eads' book. It's called Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind. I literally did have it here to show you guys, but I must have put it somewhere else. But that's okay. So, but that is one of many books out there. That book in particular, she talks about meat as being the original superfood, and she's a Harvard professor who practiced psychiatry for a number of years, and just realized at some point that people were just taking medications and not really getting any better, but they improved with the proper human diet. This example that I just read to you about, that person had like almost a complete personality change. Let me bring you another one here. I was just so sick and tired, had been for so long. Social events were not enjoyable to me. Chronic fatigue, joint pain, the weariness that comes from carrying an extra 100 pounds every day robbed me of the desire to make an effort to have relationships. I sat quietly at the table, waiting for the evening to end so that I could go home and get into my pajamas. So she's been keto carnivore for 3 years now. She's healed gallbladder pain, constipation, improved eyesight, GERD, which is the acid reflux, hypertension. She was on blood pressure meds for 20 years, and she's lost 85 pounds. So, I mean, this is, just so like 3 years. I mean, I have one here where the woman said that in 3 days she started feeling a change. I'm just going to bring that one up here. I'm not like I literally have pages of this, so I'm not going to go through them all because I know that it's just going to be a lot. Okay, yeah, this one's a lot. I think I might have two stories here. After 3 days of eating keto, all of a sudden she started feeling good. She thought she was imagining this feeling of joy that she had. It was very odd. After 1 week of eating keto, she signed an imaginary contract with herself to stick with it for 1 year. She promised herself 1 year, no cheats, no going off the plan, one solid year. And then when the year was up, she decided that, she's not going to change. Like this is just going to be what she does. She no longer has meltdowns. She's become part of the living. Her morbid thoughts vanished. Her brain is functioning properly. Problem solving works. She wakes up after 7 hours of sleep feeling rested and vibrant. She cannot believe the changes, that she had. She had fingers that locked up. That is she said 8 out of, she had 10 fingers that locked up, and 8 of them are okay now. Her plague of chronic morbid depression is gone. Migraines are gone. Doesn't even get a headache anymore. Backaches, joint pain, gone. Moody rants, gone. Asthma attacks, gone. No more inhalers. No more hypoglycemic shaking. High blood pressure is now normal to low. No more medication. She's now more sociable, even though she doesn't like crowds still, but who among us does? Who is this person in the mirror with a smile on her face? She says. She even went to a hair salon, had her hair cut for the first time in 20 years. So beyond the scale, she says she released a mountain of mental baggage. She's not honoring that 1 year contract anymore. She's never going back to the standard American diet again, and has signed an unwritten contract with herself, lifetime renewal. That story, I just loved it. So yeah, it's I get people email me stuff like this almost every day. People, they'll say it in the Facebook group or on my YouTube comments, wherever they, on social media, wherever they are, they share their stories. This past week, it was a hard week for me because there was kind of a birthday, like Tuesday would have been my sister's birthday. She would have been 62 and I'm 66. We were 4 years apart. So she basically she died of very poor health choices at the age of 59, 2.5 years ago. And I often talk about my mom being my why, because my mom also made many poor choices. But in a way, they both are. Like I after reading Dr. Ead's book about mental health and how following the proper human diet can help so many things. People who were on medications, lifetime medications, some of those illnesses, they still need their medications, but being on the proper human diet has allowed them to feel better and has allowed them to, even things like remember, like, my sister had difficulty remembering to take her medications. She had, some serious medications that she was on. And for her mental health was so bad. Her diet was so junky. She chain smoked, she drank, she did all those things. Not good for your brain. But it was so hard for her to overcome it, like when you've got the mental health issues on top of the bad food, on top of the poor health, on top of, the addictions. It's really hard. It's really hard to overcome all those things. And sometimes the best thing to do is to overcome just one of them. You can overcome one of them and then move on to some of those other ones, one by one. And I got a lot of that kind of inspiration from Dr. Ead's book. So for me, when I think about my sister and I think about my mom, how, they had all these comorbidities, all these multiple illnesses all at once, so many medications. And I see people that are my age that are doing that and that are in that situation. And my heart goes out to them because they don't have the freedom that they used to have when they were younger. And I feel like a lot of people look at a keto diet or a carnivore diet or, proper human diet, whatever that is to you. I feel like sometimes people look at that and think they're being deprived or losing freedom. But for me, the opposite has turned out to be true, the absolute total opposite, because now I have freedom that I never had before. I never had the freedom to, just go out and be with people, not worry about breaking their chairs or tripping and falling and someone's going to have to help me get up. I can get up on my own steam. I can haul my groceries up the stairs and put them away. And I'm pretty independent. Like I can get on a plane and not worry about, not worry if I have to run across, to catch a connecting flight. Like, I used to worry about, like, these things used to paralyze me with fear, of like, I remember what it's like to just be paralyzed with fear, just to go out in public, who's going to see me? What are they going to think of me? Those sorts of things. That's all gone. It's all gone. The obsession with food is gone. I just have this freedom and it's just all to do. It all started with cleaning up. It started with cleaning up the food, and all those other things fell into place. And so, it makes me sad that I didn't know this in time to help two family members. I kind of knew it in the last few years of my mom's life, but it really was too late as far as she, for her attitude about things. She was very strong-willed, and she was 100% convinced that Mazola oil was the healthiest way to go, and I was killing myself with that butter. There was no changing her mindset on that. And sometimes, you get to that point with someone like that. She also had dementia, and so she couldn't. You could explain something to her, and it would make sense in the moment, and then 20 minutes later, it's gone. And if you've ever dealt with that, so yeah, so it was one of those things where I tried my best with her. And unfortunately for my sister, I didn't know enough in time to, be of any help to her. All we can do is set ourselves as a good example, because I still have other family members who, for whatever reason, they have seen my transformation, but they have chosen to still continue on with their way. And I can't do anything about that. I can't want it more than they do. I can't. I want it badly for them, but that's not enough. They have to want it. They have to want it more than I want it for them. They have to want it so badly that they're willing to walk away from the sugar and walk away from the fast food and all that. And I know that's hard in the beginning, and it's a process and a journey. And so, I feel like, get out there and try to be with people who are walking this same journey. I know that's hard to meet people in person. But if you can go to a meetup or something like that, please try. But like stuff like this, like, being with people in the chat there. I'm seeing all kinds of people just talking about this, and that's what we need to do. Just get online and meet people that way, in the beginning, and soon you never know, there might be a carnivore or someone who does keto living right next door to you, and you're going to meet them soon. I'm hearing stories like that more and more. Here in Victoria, I've gone for coffee, I've gone for lunches, I've gone for meetups with so many since I've lived here. Which has only been a year now. It's been the end of this month, it'll be a year that I've been here. And so I feel really blessed about that. So I'm going to jump over to the questions. And at the end, if there's time, I will share some more of these stories that I have here. But one more reminder for the Carnivore Bars. Someone's going to win them tonight. I will mail them out. So eat meat, put that in the chat. Eat meat. All one word, no space. Eat meat. Okay, so let's go over to the questions. Okay, I know this one. Mary Lou, 6 weeks carnivore. Last week, started having acid reflux. Any suggestions? Yeah, I suffered with acid reflux. I even forgot to say that in my opening remarks there when I talked about some of the things I've healed, but definitely, acid reflux is part of my story. And now it sounds like this is new, though. So I think you are just adjusting to your new way of eating if you didn't have it before. And so with acid reflux, I think sometimes you might have to, like if it's new onset because of starting carnivore, maybe just dial back the fat a little bit, just a little bit. because sometimes that can cause it when you're not used to it, and then you can slowly increase it over time, or have smaller meals. And certainly, I would say finish your last meal early in the day. I don't know if this is affecting your sleep or not, or if you're just having it like after a meal. The other thing that I have done is yogurt with live cultures, the El Ruteri yogurt, or if you can get some kind of yogurt from your grocery store. They're usually more expensive, the ones that have like absolutely nothing in them except for the milk or the cream and live cultures. Take a few bites of that with your meal, and that could help as well. And the other thing that is a tried and true remedy for me, if I'm having some symptoms after a meal, is a glass of water with a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in it. I do have some plant products sometimes, the apple cider vinegar, but I treat it as medicine, not as food. And I think I think that's the way to look at it, because we do have to heal these extra issues that some of us either have brought with us to the table, or they've developed over, years, or it's just a reaction. So, hope that helps. Patty, hi Anita, hi everybody, pretty in blue. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet of you to say that. Deely. Oh, how are some of the... Okay, I'm sure he loves sitting next... Oh, Dr. Baker you're talking about. Okay. We had a good talk. It was good. I'm glad that I got to meet him there. Carnivore Hippie. Hi, Patty. Non-scale victories is where it's at for me. Energy, positive mood, functional digestion, reversed asthma. If I never lost another pound and I still have about 50 to go, I would still stay on this way of eating. I agree 100%. I have 30 I want to lose. I feel like it's going to happen. I don't really care how long. I mean, I'm not going back, so I feel like I'm in a really good place, and I totally agree with you. These are it's how we live our lives now. That is what's important. It's all this other stuff. It's so not about the food once you start to heal some of these other issues. And Patty, Carnivore Hippie, for those of you who don't know her, please go check out her channel. She's an amazing chef. She has already lost, I think it's 120, and sorry if I have that number wrong, Patty, but, she's done well in that department as well. Carmen, God made you seatmates so that he could give you that information. Yeah, I mean, sometimes there's a reason for these things. Shannon, it's been over 6 months since my foot surgery, still struggling to do anything physical. I have been doing chair workouts online. Well, good for you. And I have seen pictures of your foot I think you had a purple cast at one point or something like that. And, but good for you for doing the chair workouts. I mean, I know it's a struggle, and I hope that you're getting some kind of physical therapy or some kind of help with what you can do. Because I mean, these recoveries, that's the other thing that I wouldn't look forward to with a surgery of some kind is how long it takes to recover. Keep it up. Keep it up. Dawn. 50 plus years old, pain in the knee and told to get a knee replacement. Yeah. Hoping carnivore helps heal the pain as well. On carnivore for 4 months, down 10 pounds. Do you measure the grams of protein? So I tried to shoot for a lot of protein. So they say it's like we talked about this last week. I think it was last live. I can't remember. I've been to so many things in the last couple weeks. I believe in one gram per pound of ideal body weight, not what you weigh now, but ideal body weight and sometimes goal weight. And so I've had that. I've done it to goal weight before. Now I'm anywhere between my ideal body weight and my interim goal weight. that is what I'm shooting for. So I need to have between 125 grams and 150 grams of protein today. If I per day, if I hit anywhere in that range, I'm a happy woman. That is, that is where I feel really good. And, women our age, we need that extra protein to not just build muscle, but even just to maintain what muscle we have. So when you see older women that are getting very frail, and it happens to men too, this totally is also a male issue. You see them getting frail, you see them getting hunched over, they need help with everything. They're losing their muscle mass. And so we can prevent that by getting enough protein. So that is what I shoot for. So that is not grams of weight, by the way. I just want to be clear because I do get that question. That is macrograms. So for example, a can of salmon, which is something I eat a lot as a quick lunch, can of salmon has 53 grams of protein in it. And so I eat that and I know I've got 53 grams or 52, something like that. So find a few favorite meats, learn how many grams of protein are in your favorite steak or your favorite burger or your favorite can of salmon, and make sure you're getting enough. It's going to happen. That is going to be really helpful to your knee. And the other thing that's going to really help your knee, and I don't know where you are on this spectrum. Anyone who knows me and has been following me for a while knows how important omega-3s are to me, because I think that has also been a factor in my knee pain going away, is the amount of seafood that I eat. I try to eat some kind of seafood on a daily basis. And I eat a lot of cans of sardines, if you look at some of my videos over the last year or two, omega-3 and sardines come up a lot. So if you're not there yet, don't worry about it. It's not a requirement. I'm just telling you what helped my knee the most. And high protein and omega-3s. If you just can't get there with the sardines, go get a really good omega-3 supplement, okay? So a good one. Okay, I hope that helps. Darlene, how are your cholesterol numbers and CAC score? Although it would seem we don't really worry about those numbers since it's probably information rather than LDL. Yeah, and I'm in Canada. I can't pay $800 for a CAC score because that's what I would have to pay as, private pay. The doctors don't do it here. It's not routine. Cholesterol number, my cholesterol, the last labs, now that's a year ago. I should probably go again. But a year ago, they were slightly elevated, but that is not a concern to me. So rather than ask someone what their LDL is or their cholesterol, it's the triglycerides that's important. It's their fasting insulin level is way more important than cholesterol. So the whole cholesterol thing, if you go down all the YouTube rabbit holes, you'll find that it's pretty much been debunked that cholesterol alone is not a factor, or you can't tell by that number alone who's going to die of a heart attack and who isn't, because there's just nothing out there to prove it. So it's more important to know those other numbers like triglycerides, fasting insulin, what's your blood sugar, those sorts of things. So definitely focus on those. Okay. Dee Lee, these testimonials are wonderful. I know they are so inspiring to me. Michelle finally made a live. Welcome, Michelle. So glad that you're here. Rita. Hi, Rita. I'm so glad I didn't miss the live this week. Just got out of an 8-hour shift at work. Well, thank you for spending time here after a long day at work. Rita you've been following me for so long, and I think you comment on pretty much every video that I've done. Like 400 videos you've commented. So I want you to know I appreciate that very much. Teresa, hi from Oklahoma, first live. Oh, I'm so happy that you are here. This is amazing. Darlene, enjoying this way of eating, but last couple of days struggling with overeating. Suggestions, please, to rein it back in. We all have that. Now, one rule that I have with myself is like there's days when I overeat. But staying away from the carbs and the sugars and those sorts of things, that's kind of a basic rule for me. If I overeat, like if I'm feeling like just, things are not going right, there's stress, there's this, there's that, there's the other thing. Like I'll cook up some bacon and eggs, some kind of comfort food, that is within the boundaries of your plan, and call it a day. Eat till you're just darn well stuffed, and say, okay, I made it through this day, and not worry about your calories or your macros or anything else. Sometimes we need to do that. And I certainly have my days like that. I mean, we're human beings. We have our stresses and our emotions. Sometimes it's just a day. And, if you allow yourself that grace to, have the extra bacon, whip up some cream, have some heavy cream. I mean, I've gone there too, and move on the next day. It's good. I think we can overcome these things given enough, feedback and try. What am I trying to say? Tribe. Have a tribe. Like have people that you can kind of lean on. Teresa, I have access to A2 raw milk, thinking about making kefir to help with gut health. Have you tried this outside of the yogurt you make? Well, it's illegal for me to buy A2 milk here in Canada. Like there's actually laws against it, against selling it, against buying it, all that kind of stuff. It's like unbelievable, but it is what it is. So no, I have not tried A2 milk, but the people that I've spoken to who have tried it do very well on it. Like we're talking people who cannot do milk normally or cannot do dairy. They get the A2 milk and they're fine. So I would definitely, I think it would help with your gut health if you have, any gut issues. I would definitely encourage you, if you can get that, to try that. And I think you're going to find, maybe those of you in the live chat can give some comments to Teresa if you've done that. Definitely. Claudia. Hi, Claudia. I'm so sorry about your sister. Hugs. Thank you. Thank you so much. Dee Dee, eating garbage is not freedom. No, it is not. It sucks you into that vortex. And, there are people that get sucked into that vortex and have a lot of trouble coming out. So don't go there if you can help it. Ginger Cameron Ford Crouch. How long does it take to be totally free of the cravings? So I've heard different numbers on this. I think on average it takes 3 weeks. So whatever the item is that you are, craving or that you cannot moderate, that's different for different people. But let's say it's, Tim Hortons donuts or something. I don't know. Or it's probably any sugar. Let's be honest here. It's not just that. Like sugar. A sugar craving is a very strong craving. They say that it's just as hard to stop sugar as it is cocaine or any other hard drug. So 3 weeks is what I hear as the average time to be craving free. Not having any in your system for 3 weeks is going to help you immensely. And for some people that, like I have cravings to things that are normally healthy, acceptable carnivore, keto foods. So if you're in that boat, those are trickier because they're allowed, and there's people around you who eat them with impunity, and they have no effect. I personally know people who have lost over 100 pounds who can eat the one keto brownie or the one keto cookie, and they are fine. I wish that was me. I really do. But I have proven to myself over and over again that it's not. And so whatever that food is, sometimes we just have to be without it. And so, and for some people, you know, uh, there could be a time later down the road that it can come back, but I don't know. I can't know that for each individual person, and that's a hard one because some people believe that with all the foods, like all sugar, carbs, or whatever. And yet I have seen people who are like, yeah, I have that every once in a while, and it's fine. I kind of grew out of wanting it. Um, we're all different, I guess, is the point I'm trying to make. Carmen, I know that feeling, Anita. I keep trying to educate my stepfather about a meat-based diet for his Parkinson's, but he will not let go of the sad way. I did get him off sugar though. That's a win. You gotta take that win. That will help him, no doubt. But yeah. Teresa, had to be rock bottom before I finally adopted this lifestyle. I was so stubborn. When I finally got it and saw the benefits for my husband who has a TBI, I was sold. I'm not sure what a TBI is. I probably should know it, and maybe when somebody explains it to me later, I'll go, "Oh yeah, right, I knew that." But sometimes we see it through other people, and that's just how the journey goes. So, thank goodness. And thank goodness you have someone to do this with too. Marianne, I made a batch of egg bites this week. Thank you for your recipe, Miss Anita. You're welcome. Danny, hi Danny. You, this tribe, and this way of eating have helped me achieve so many non-scale victories. I have not lost a lot of weight, but all the other benefits have been life-changing. Thank you, Danny. I really appreciate that. Exchange student, too. Thank you for the giveaway. That's right. Eat meat, you guys. Put it in the comments. Joseph, eat meat. You're a joy to listen to. I am sending this to a new friend who is dealing with some memory and other health issues. Thanks for your compassion for people. God bless your efforts. Thank you so much. I just appreciate this comment so much. Thank you. I hope that your friend takes it to heart. And yeah, it's memory issues. They are tough, and I no warning to the moderators. I'm hoping that maybe one of them has this video, but there is a video out there. Nick Norowitz did it recently about omega-3s. He's a huge fan, just like me, of omega-3s. He showed studies with graphs on the screen. He's a PhD, so he has access to all those studies. He showed studies about how omega-3s help cognitive issues in people. So if one of the moderators, if one of you happens to have that, and if you don't, that's okay. It's the video called Grim Reaper something or other. I have it, but I'll put it in the video notes later after this live is over. Nicole, can you not order Carnivore Bars in Canada? It always says change shipping address, and I'm in Coquitlam. I don't know. It's a U.S. site. You can get them to Canada. I've ordered them. You can get them here, but you do have to pay. Yeah, all the shipping and stuff like that. It is expensive, but they are a full meal replacement. A lot of people like it for that reason. And my link, I do have a link that's in the video notes. You will get a discount if you use my link to order. Julia, too many positives to go back to standard American diet. Oh, I so agree. DAR, hello from Little Rock, Arkansas. Have you heard of the knees over toes guy? I have heard of that. So thank you for that reminder for people who are suffering with knee issues and any other things like that. Check out Knees Over Toes guy. DD, omega-3. Teresa, omega-3s for the win. Oh, you guys are so enthusiastic. Thank you. Thank you for the inspiration. Currently down 75 pounds, 90 more to go. You're almost halfway there, Elizabeth Jones. Congratulations. Keep going. Keep going. It is doable. Carmen, I think you're on the right track with the pain relief of omega-3s. I have been in less pain in the few weeks I've been eating more. It's not gone, but it's better. I'm going to keep it up. Yeah, keep it up because it really is better. I mean, it's a small miracle in a can. Let's see here. Dawn, thank you so much. I will try the omega-3 in Tennessee. Awesome. Bonnie, I've been doing this since 2016, and I can tell you that when you are in an environment with cakes, cookies, snacks, it's a trigger for me and becomes a slippery slope. Oh, Bonnie, and she's on vacation for 2 weeks with her family. They're all eating standard American diet. You hang in there, Bonnie. I know you've got this. Rochelle, I was keto for 7 years and never completely eliminated cravings, but after 6 weeks of carnivore, they were finally gone. Yeah, for some of us, that is true. That is definitely true. We are not all moderators. Some of us have to be abstainers. Oh, Sherry. Oh, thank you, Sherry, for chiming in on the raw milk. I was kind of hoping you were out there because I know you've tried it. Raw milk has been a total game changer for me. I didn't get A2, but just being raw makes all the difference for me. I could not consume most conventional dairy without terrible effects. So thank you, Sherry, for sharing that. I'm going to give another reminder for the draw, Eat Meat. And I want to give a few shout outs in a second, but we're just going to see where we stand. We have 144 entries. We will draw in 5 minutes. But I'm just going to give a few shout outs here. I'm going to whip over to the live chat. Hello, Keto Mama. Ivy, hello. Luigia, yay, glad you're here. Just Jason Keto, I am so glad you're here as well. You were out there early telling people to hit that like button. Hey, and somebody in my group today shared your latest chaffle recipe. They said it was amazing. So congratulations on that. Hello, Kathy and Margaret. I saw Low Carb Spin was in the house. Meeting Wellness. Nice to see you here. Hi, Vicky. I know your secret name there. So let me see who else is here. Claude. Oh yeah, I saw Claudia already. And Nancy, Karen, oh my goodness, there's just so many. William Nichols is here, and Deb947. I've got a lot of Debs, so I don't know if I've said hi to all of you Debs out there. Hello. Hi, Jan. It's nice to see you here as well. Martha, so good as always to see you. Who else have we got? Oh, I'm sure I've forgotten somebody. Jay, Charlotte, everybody. Okay, I'm just going to whip back over because I saw another question pop in. Okay. Annie, I am following the 80-20 protocol to help with PCOS and I know this one, polycystic ovary polycystic ovary syndrome or something like that. Something close to that. I find myself so hungry with the small portions. Small portions. Any tips? Eat more. I'm slowly gaining weight on about 1900 calories a day. Okay, so I don't know, like 1900 calories. It doesn't sound like you're under eating, but maybe you need to have a little bit more for healing. I don't know. And maybe it could be what you're eating too. Fatty meats would be good to eat because that is good for a healing protocol. I know when I did the 80-20, I was doing about 1900 to 2000 calories a day, 80% of calories from fat. I did not lose during that 90 days. I stayed exactly the same, like I didn't lose an ounce. But I was okay with that because I was, doing it for different reasons. I was trying to test the whole GKI, mental health stability, all that stuff. And it certainly was good for that. So I don't know, because I just don't know anything about you. So, or your background, how you got from, like, where were you before, starting an 80-20 healing protocol, that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can comment some information. This live is almost over, but I always go back after and I read the live and I read the comments that are underneath the video after the live ends. So if you want to give me more information there, but I would definitely take a look at your TDEE and see whereabouts you should be for maintenance, because if you're trying to heal, maintenance should be okay rather than weight loss as a goal. I know it's tough to gain weight, but a lot of perfectly respectable carnivores out there did gain in the beginning. Kelly Hogan, for example, they did gain some weight at first, and then they came down. So, that's probably not what you want to hear, but that's that has happened. But again, not enough information here to say much more. So let's. I have one more. Thing here. Annie, thank you so much. Your videos have already helped me. I so appreciate you taking a stab. Okay, thanks. I tried sometimes. Sometimes I don't have the answer, but I'm always willing to kind of help people along. And like I said, leave some comments later under the video after it ends, and I'll get to them. Let's go to the video. Let's go to the what's it called? Giveaway. Let's go to the giveaway. I'm getting hungry. It's making my brain not work. Okay, who won? Let's see. Okay, Paula Kane. So, Paula Kane, you have won these 2 carnivore bars. So if you could please email me at ketogenicwoman@gmail.com. I need your full contact details. And I promise I will never ever send you anything other than these 2 carnivore bars. So yeah, if you could send me that email, ketogenicwoman@gmail.com, I would appreciate that, and these will get off to you this week. So congratulations, and thanks everyone else for entering. And I'm just going to take a quick look at one last question here before we break. Nancy, I was on keto for almost 2 years, but now, even though I have not changed my diet, I have gained over 30 back. Is there a transition period to try carnivore? If you're already keto, then it's possible you're already fat adapted, and there's no reason why you couldn't just go from keto to carnivore. You're already used to being very low carb. Yeah, I would just go for it. I don't think you need to try to transition. You may find that it helps you right away. So, depending on, what issues are underlying. So, we are at the 1 hour mark, and that was the last question. I'm hanging on to these because were so many more. I'm probably going to do a follow-up Tuesday talk or something to this. I just want to share more of these with you guys. And thank you so much for spending this hour with me on a summer Sunday night. I appreciate it very much. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Next week, we're going to talk about supplements, and I'll share with you what I take and, what some of the experts say we should be taking. So, good night and see you guys next time. Thank you again so much for coming.